We humans have a strange ability where we envision things that don't exist and then somehow make them real. Unlike animals, which also display signs of intelligence, like dolphins solving puzzles, monkey using tools, some even recognizing themselves in mirrors, we people invent entire worlds, stories and fairy tales, gods, and even future scenarios of civilizations yet to be. And it all starts with this single and incredibly unique skill of ours: imagination. Not an immediately necessary skill for our survival, but important nonetheless. Take, for example, Lord of the Rings. It is a masterful piece of literature by J.a.d.o.k.a.r. Tolkien, who invents a whole new world with its mythology, unique races, history, and even language. And it really doesn't do all that much in terms of showing us how to build a shelter, but it shows how far human imagination can take us, away from our mundane lives into the wonderland. Which is awesome! And it's thanks again to Tolkien's imagination, which is the same skill that helped us get to where we are as a species.
Oh wait, but you said it doesn't help us for survival. Why would we—
Sit down and watch this. When we discovered fire, it took imagination and ingenuity to harness that power to create pottery, then glasswork, metalwork, steam engines, combustible ones, and finally jet engines, taking us from the caves straight to the moon, flying past even Icarus himself. And keep in mind, all throughout that time, we created magnificent works of art, 7 wonders of the world, historic works of literature, music, folklore. My God, are humans unhinged when it comes to creating fictional stories and creatures. If you just take Japan and its,
let me see here,
1,700 yokai, the varieties of them alone can make your head spin. However, lately I've been having thoughts, such as, what happens if we stop imagining for ourselves? You see, I'm an artist. And in today's world where AI is giving people the opportunity to outsource their creativity by generating images, music, and even writing, I feel that we might be at risk of losing something important. Look, our imagination is like a muscle. If you stop using it, it atrophies and becomes harder to re-engage. And despite our daily distractions, we still have plenty of opportunities given in our daily lives to use this muscle more often. Say when you're in a clinic, just sitting, waiting to be called by your doctor for your eye exam. That is a moment where you might feel a bit anxious, not because of the exam, but because you are alone with yourself and your thoughts. So you might whip out your phone and start scrolling. But what if instead you stayed alone with your thoughts and imagined that instead of a waiting room in a clinic, you are sitting on a bench of an ancient make in a long-forgotten city, watching the merchants sell jaw-dropping works of craftsmanship. And you're not just a local, no. You are a time traveler, dressed as a local, speaking Akkadian, and you are here to see how Nebuchadnezzar II built the Ishtar Gate. And before the gate is even finished with its construction, you will hear your name called out. And boom! Time flew by, you were entertained, and you wrinkled your brain a little bit. Wow! Or how about when you are riding on a public transport and you're stuck in a traffic jam? Again, that same feeling starts creeping in. You alone with your thoughts. Well, how about confronting that feeling? Only instead of directly doing that, you clad your inner self in psychic armor as you are about to face off with a dark and mysterious void of a beast. And you engage in combat with such magnitude that it could be compared to how the primordial titans fought the ancient forces of myths of the old ages. You could even take a different route entirely and imagine a meeting place of sorts in an ancient cave with a central dais where you stand as an inner version of your mind's self, opposite the emotion that you're confronting. And you two engage in a conversation. You listen to it and where it came from and what it carries. And lo and behold, as you arrive at your destination, not only have you dealt with your emotions, but yet again, you wrinkled your brain some more. And listen, if this is hard for you to imagine or not as clear as I describe it, well then you have some imagination to do. On paper! See, what better way to solidify your inner visions than to sketch them down? Like when you see a fantastical dream. Aside from just writing down what you saw, you could also sketch the impressions of it, further wrinkling your brain because you engage your visual memory that way. And it doesn't have to be picture perfect. Keep it messy even, so long as you engage that brain muscle of yours. Now, you can go beyond what you see in your nighttime dreams and do the same with the daytime dreams or fantasies. Anytime you're having a break or you feel like fidgeting, try pouring that fidgetiness on paper in a form of a rough sketch of what you see inside your mind's eye. Just like with daydreaming, with the two previous examples, here you have potentially infinite possibilities to sketch down not only possible versions of what the reality could look like, but also what you yourself could look like. If you want to, you can turn into a Giga-Chad with a body of a ziggurat that's carried by mystical land creatures called Chemed and Shamud, taking you from land into the sea to explore the depths of our oceans. Why? Because why not? You can theoretically invent new transportation vehicles, new landscapes, new life forms, and soon enough you'll find yourself archiving the same type of works that Tolkien did when he was a kid, inventing his own writing and language and later coming up with elves and orcs and whatnot. All of this to say, imagination can help us create things. Things that are not here right now but could be in the future. And not just potential technologies, but fashions, architectural styles, artistry and craftsmanship. If I may bring one very prominent example of somebody shooting for the stars in this manner, that would be a fellow named j.a.d.o.k.a.r, aka Mobius. This man captured a vision of our future with such exquisite style and manner that if you pay attention, a lot of the world's modern media seems to emulate and take inspiration from him and his vision of the future. You can see his influence in Laputa, the Castle in the Sky by Miyazaki, or even Star Wars with its unique bulbous architecture and aesthetics. So, in a world where so much is becoming more automated and AI generated, perhaps it is vital for us to start creating for ourselves, getting our imaginative muscles ripped, making us stand out and become original again. Way more original than all the artists that came before. And I know that's a huge bar to cross, but hey, those artists had to have crossed prior bars as well. So, why not be the next ones to do the same today? In other words, why stop here? No one knows the true limits of human imagination. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and it made you want to wrinkle your brain a little bit more, then go ahead, wrinkle away as you like, share, and subscribe. Also, do consider ringing the bell to get notified for our future uploads, and I'll see you in the next one.